Professor Galloway did a video, and it's a very interesting video. And on this video, he talks about roles of men. And the one that really caught my attention was that men as protectors. And what Professor Galloway was suggesting was that, and I like the guy, I think it's very, very knowledgeable and very insightful. And what he suggested was that men as protectors would be able to protect any community at any time, and they don't need to understand the community, agree with the community, love the community. They can do, optional, but it's not necessary. And that men should be protectors. And masculinity is about protection. And when we as men are not protecting, it leads to this deterioration of ourselves as men. I agree with him. And I really like the points he was making in this video. But I was also thinking that women too are protectors, right? Because women will protect their children. I mean, try and threaten a woman with the children, she'll kill you. We do have a historical precedence of this. In medieval times, when kings went off to fight a war in foreign countries, the female, the queen, would then be in charge. She would be the regent, and she would run the country. And if there were invaders into the country, she would see them off. So women looked after the home. They would look after the energy of that local community, but they would protect the kingdom so that their children could inherit the kingdom, right? So there's something very important about recognizing that women too can protect, but they protect their children and their immediate community, and they will even kill for that. Men are protectors, but protect the larger community anywhere in the world. Now, of course, I'm talking in a bit of a stereotypical way, because I'm thinking about yin and yang energy. Masculine energy is yang energy. That's action, doing. It kind of reminds me of the planet Mars if you're into astrology. You know, Mars is the god of war. He marches into action. To me, that is yang energy. And then you have the yin energy, which is a feminine energy. So picture this. You know, there's a woman sitting in the middle of the night. Make it the 1950s or 40s where there's a fireplace. It's a cold winter's day. And she's heavily pregnant and she's knitting booties or, knitting for the child just by the firelight and a candlelight. So it's a very passive, quiet scene. However, this woman is growing a whole universe in her womb. She's a creator. So yin energy feels, and perhaps in our society, we don't value it as much. It's kind of reflective, thoughtful, and it's an internal energy. So just because we cannot see it doesn't mean we shouldn't value it, because she is growing a whole universe inside her, a whole person. She's a creator. And yin and yang need to balance. So men need to balance their feminine energy, and women need to balance the masculine energy. So in this time that we're in, I think it's the rise of the feminine. So we men need to be really masculine so that we can achieve balance of feminine energy. The alpha male is the nurturing male. The alpha wolf is the one who will, when he's leading his pack, if somebody's ill, somebody's straggling behind, somebody's in danger, it's the alpha male who go and bring the grasses for the ill member of his pack. Somebody's straggling behind, he'll go up and bring them into the pack. He's the only one who's allowed to mate. So the alpha male is the one who nurtures. So if we can be really masculine, we can be in our feminine. And this brings it all the way back to what Professor Galloway was saying, which is Dr. Scott Galloway. And what he was saying is, we in this society are being told to act as women. I believe that a lot of our society, our institutions are feminized. In the old days, at least here in England, we had lots of breaks during schools. And it was recognized that boys needed to expend that energy. They weren't just expected to sit and behave and be good boys. We knew that boys couldn't just sit and be still. And it was accepted that during lots of these break times that the girls would tend to sit inside and the boys would be outside. But this isn't a strict rule. And I'm not trying to say that that's how we should be. Just these are tendencies we have, and that we should allow nature to form and allow us to be who we are in our gender, in our sex. But that doesn't mean that I disagree with the transgender movement. But for the purposes of this video, I think it's very important to recognize masculinity, femininity, yin yang. For our communities, which are so polarized right now, we need to be balanced in the yin yang, masculine, feminine energy for the health, wealth, and for the future healthiness of our communities.